Welcome, young Turks. We got an awesome show for you today. No, I'm pumped up, man. I gotta be honest with you. I'm ready to go. First, I'll tell you a couple of reasons I'm in a good mood. First of all, hello on Facebook today. We passed 40,000 likes. Jeez, Lord mercy. You know what I'd like to get to? I'd like to get to 50,000 likes. All right, we're going to get to that a little later in the program. We're going to do a fun little thing of like, where do people watch the Young Turks? They've sent in some pictures, and I love it. Of course, Facebook.com/TYT Nation. All right, second reason I'm excited. I just interviewed Sulu. I'm coming for them, man. I'm hunting them down. These Star Trek folks. First, we got Uhuru. Then we got Chekhov. Just today, I got Sulu. Spock, I got my eyes on you.
I'm hunting them down. I'm coming for you. I'm coming.
Okay, just so you know, all right? I'd like to get as many as possible. On tomorrow's MSNBC show, I will ask George Takei not only about gay rights, but whether the cast of Star Trek knew he was gay at the time and what was their reaction. Da-da-da! Ba-da-da! What is that sound effect? Anyway, so I pre-taped that today. You'll get to see it tomorrow on MSNBC, 6 o'clock. It's going to be awesome. All right, now let's get started. Lots of news for you, and a lot of it is fun. First one, not so much, but it is important news. So we now have new information about the Federal Reserve and who they gave our money to, and it continues, of course, to be disastrous. We now find out that they gave $30 billion each to Goldman Sachs, Credit Suisse, and Royal Bank of Scotland at the grand interest rate of 0.01%. That means they basically gave them free money. Now, you might think, hey, wait a minute, that's the Federal Reserve of the United States of America. I wonder if the Royal Bank of Scotland is an American bank. Well, if you were wondering that, you're right. It's not an American bank. Neither is Credit Suisse. In fact, we have given to a great number of foreign banks now that we find out what the Fed was actually up to, including, here's my favorite, by the way. You know, of course, there's Deutsche Bank and there's all the European banks, etc. But we also gave to the Arab Banking Corporation. Well, that must be nice. We gave $28 billion in loans to them. And guess who their majority owner is? That's right, Libya's central bank. In other words, Gaddafi's bank. Now, that was back in 2008. But get a load of our Federal Reserve. They're like, who needs money? Anybody, anybody, anybody. Arab Banking Corporation, Credit Suisse, come and get it here at almost 0% interest rate. Now, do you remember them asking Congress if they could distribute our money to other banks? Our banks, let alone foreign banks. Oh, no, that's right, they didn't, because they're totally unaccountable. It is an absolute outrage. Look, did we know they were doing this before? Yes, we did, right? Did we know at the time? No. They didn't tell us. Now, why didn't they tell us? They said, oh, well, it would endanger the banks that we're giving the money to. People might think that they're not solvent, and there might be a run on those banks. The reason people might think they were not solvent is because they were not solvent. That's why you needed to give them $30 billion each. And by the way, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Overall, they gave $3.2 trillion in loans. These new ones, we just at least identified the banks and identified the interest rate, which was 0.01%. Do you have any idea how outrageous that is? I mean, if you went to the Federal Reserve and you're like, hey, dude, I'm broke, man. Just like Goldman Sachs, I'm broke. Can you give me $30 billion at 0.01%? Well, if they agreed to that deal, do you know how fabulously rich you would be? Not because you would get to keep the $30 billion. It's a loan. You'd have to return it, right? But you could then, for example, turn around and buy treasury bonds with it at whatever the rate might be, ranging from 3 to 4%, and you get to keep the 3%. And ironically, you'd be lending it back to the United States government. You would be fabulously wealthy. And that's exactly what happened to all these banks, U.S. and foreign ones, because we just gave our money away. Just gave it away. Oh, well, there was an economic crisis. Well, who caused it? Well, those banks. So why do we help those banks that caused the economic crisis? Okay, fine, we had to. That's what they all say. It was a panic. We had to give away all of our money. All right, what do we get in return? Did we get significant value? I mean, charging 0.01% interest rate, that is not getting something in return. That's getting literally almost nothing in return. Did we get a piece of Goldman Sachs or Credit Suisse or the Arab Banking Corporation? Because, look, if you go to a private person, you say, or an entity of any sort, and you say, hey, I'd like to borrow $30 billion, they're going to take a lot of hide for that $30 billion, let alone the $3 trillion overall. They'd own you. Did we do that? No. We gave it to them for almost nothing. Now, on top of this, and by the way, how do we find out this information? Two ways. One, Congressman Ron Paul and Congressman Alan Grayson, to their eternal credit, fought really hard. So did Senator Bernie Sanders. And they eventually got part of the reform bill, which is one of the few parts of the bill that I like and that I think was worthwhile, was to audit the Fed. So they passed that in the Dodd-Frank bill, and now we are seeing some of that audit. Plus, news organizations like Bloomberg did a Freedom of Information Act, and they wanted to get the information from this somewhat government organization, right? And so through both of those avenues, we've now found out. Now, the entire time, the Fed fought this, tooth and nail. They fought the reform bill, and they fought the Freedom of Information Act in court. They went to court to stop it. Now, on top of all that, the head of the Fed, Ben Bernanke, now says, quote, I personally have always been a big believer in providing as much information as you can to help the public understand what you're doing, to help the markets understand what you're doing, and to be accountable to the public for what you're doing. What an unbelievable joke. Well, then why did you fight it for the last 3 years and only give it under the threat of law? And say, all right, fine, okay, I gave away all your money for free, and all those guys got rich off of it. Unbelievable crimes, man. And I told you, this is the back door. They figured it out. They're like, Treasury, oh, we'll never make that mistake again. Go ask Congress for money through TARP? Man, that was a disaster. People got held accountable for that. No. Now we got a piggy bank at the Fed. We just print the money. And we loan it to you at nearly 0%. And then you make a gigantic return, all my banker friends. And then you bring the money back after you've made all your money. That's a great little racket they're running with our money. Man, I'm telling you, man, I've told you a million times, we're in a world of trouble. You think this system isn't going to crash? Gretchen Morgenson had a great, well, it's not just a piece, but she actually wrote a book about it. I interviewed her on MSNBC about it, about how Goldman Sachs totally, utterly lied, among other companies, a lot of the banks did, to their clients. They tell their clients, oh, we've got a great little package for you. It's these subprime mortgages, but we've packaged them up with regular mortgages, and they're layered in CDOs. They're lovely. They're lovely. They sell it to them at the same exact time. We have internal emails, etc., indicating, hey, you know what? They're telling their executives, sell. Bet against those things that we just sold because they're going to crash. If you do business with Goldman Sachs, you are a sucker of the highest order. They're going to look to rob you, man. That's what they did before. That's what they're going to do again. They think you're a sucker. We've seen the emails. Okay, so they ripped off their clients, and later, as you see here, they ripped off the United States taxpayers. They should be in jail. Are there any fraud charges? Oh, the Barack Obama's administration, no, they want to look forward. They don't want to look backward. Shockingly enough, the Justice Department has done squat, diddly, nada, zilch. Oh, but don't worry, the Obama Justice Department is hard at work. They went after somebody yesterday. Oh, this is very important. You know who they went after? John Edwards. It turns out that there might be an indictment of Edwards. That is the reports that we are hearing. Whoa! Okay, first of all, should they go after Edwards? Yes. Did he abuse money given to him to pay his mistress? It certainly looks like it. They should at least investigate it, and they should probably go to trial. And did he take money from this? It's funny. It's called Bunny Money because the nickname of the woman who gave it to him, apparently about $700,000, was Bunny, right? Did he take that money and not report it as he should have? Okay? It looks like yes. Should they go after Edwards? Absolutely. I don't give a damn Democrat, Republican, and he's one of the most loathsome guys in the country, okay, at this point, now that we know what the reality is, okay? But it's funny how the Obama administration has gathered up the courage to go after John Edwards, who at one point literally ranked as like the least popular person in American history. Okay, like, whoa, that took some courage. You all right, dog? Man, you used up a lot of political capital to do that. How many Republicans did they go after? Oh, well, interesting. I think last count was 0. That's what I believe. Okay. But one last thing on this. Don't worry, there is somebody on the case. His name is Eric Schneiderman. I have made the mistake of getting a little hopeful. He has a position in New York of Attorney General. That's a position that Eliot Spitzer had before. A guy who did a great job. And as soon as I saw Schneiderman was going after the banks, and I love this. They call him a grandstand. They're like, oh, he's grandstanding, trying to do his job. No, that would be called doing your job. You're the Attorney General. If there was fraud, civil or criminal fraud, you should pursue it. They're such liars. Okay, so what do I think? I think Schneiderman, go get him, man. Here's what I want you to say.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming.
And definitely about the fraud, I want you to say.
End of this. I'm going to hunt you down.
Goldman Sachs. I hope that's what Schneiderman's saying. So I'm a little hopeful. He's asking for subpoenas, apparently, from Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all the top guys. Because that's the thing. Just last thing on this. Look, you got to understand, if you don't have subpoenas, this is what Eliot Spitzer says all the time, because nobody has better experience than he does on this. If you don't have subpoenas, you can't find out what they did internally. If you have subpoenas, and in New York, those subpoenas have broad powers, then you can find out all the internal documents, what they said to the investors, what they said to the government, while internally what they said to each other. And then you can prove fraud without a shadow of a doubt. Okay? And if that's what he's going to do, it's going to be great. Okay? And Eric, if you're doing that, I got some advice for you. For the love of God, don't have sex with anyone outside of your wife. Because they're coming for you, okay? You send subpoenas to Goldman Sachs, and if you're doing anything wrong sexually, they will find out, and then they'll say, this sexual deviant pervert. Of course, no, we can't have this. No, I'm not kidding. Okay. By the way, if they do some sort of sex thing on Schneiderman, by the way, this is total, like, he has nothing like that. Don't get me wrong, nothing, okay? And then the rest of the media will, of course, be credulous and be like, well, obviously, he must have been with something. Did something wrong. All right, anyway. By the way, we were talking about that in regards to, Dominique Strauss-Kahn, the head of the IMF, who was in jail. Well, now he's not in jail. He's in an apartment building in New York, but he got out on a $1 million bail. And we were curious whether he actually did it or not, et cetera. Lately, the evidence has been kind of bad against him. They did apparently find some DNA. So, hey, look, man, if he did it, sad day for him. And look, keep it in your pants, man. Don't do anything illegal. Don't do anything stupid. If you're going to, go after powerful people, don't freaking commit any crimes while you're doing it, let alone sexual crimes. All right. Now, and by the way, Dominique Strauss-Kahn is a mixed character. Don't get me wrong. I mean, in some ways, he went after the banks. We explained that at length before. In some ways, he's the head of the IMF. So, I mean, there's it's definitely a mixed record. Anyway, let's do some campaign news. Sarah Palin's coming, man. She's coming. 100 miles an hour. I'm hoping she runs. I'm hoping against hope. There are going to be great stories. There's already great stories. You know what she's done? She was apparently preparing for quite some time because she's got a bus ready. It's got a constitution on it, so maybe she could read it in her spare time. It writes "One Nation," Sarah Palin's gonna unite us as a part of the Pledge of Allegiance. She probably thought it was a part of the Constitution, but how we're indivisible under God. Okay, all right, I got you. I love those crib notes, man. They're never not funny. Freedom. How do you have to remember that? Anyway, so she's going to do this tour. She's going to start in Washington, and she's going to take that bus tour up the East Coast and go to all the historic sites, try to learn some American history. She's going to need that help. And she's starting with these veterans biking tour from the Pentagon to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. It's called Rolling Thunder, which I love. Rolling Thunder, Sarah Palin. She's coming, man. Okay, by the way, here's the relevant part of that story. Latest Gallup poll. Sarah Palin is number 2, right behind Mitt Romney. Romney's at 17%, Palin's at 15%. Far ahead of Gingrich and everybody else. She's coming. That's awesome. And what else do we have? Oh, Gingrich. So Gingrich, there's a new development on the Tiffany's thing. Look, this is our favorite story. At first, I thought it was goofy and meant nothing, but we were just amused at how Schieffer went after him and after him and after him, right, on Face the Nation. Well, it's taking a little serious twisty twist today, as Anna would say. It turns out that Christy Evans was formerly a top staffer for Newt Gingrich when he was the minority whip, or when he was the whip for the Republicans, okay? And why is that relevant? Well, it turns out she's a lobbyist at Tiffany's. Things that make you go, So when Newt said, what, everybody gets a 0% interest loan, right? No, nobody gets a 0% interest loan on $500,000 worth of jewelry. It turns out, why did he get that? Perhaps he knew the right people at Tiffany's. Now, why would Tiffany's want to do the Gingrich family such a solid? Well, it gets more interesting. Not only did they used to work with Newt Gingrich, but it turns out Tiffany's has a lot of business in front of the Agriculture Committee. Do you know who was on the House Agriculture Committee as a staffer at that same time, by the way? Callista Gingrich, Newt's wife. At the same time, she's got that line of credit at Tiffany's. So it turns out that Tiffany's story where they, at first that sounded goofy. So what? Okay, he's a rich guy, I said, and he's got $500,000 worth of jewelry he bought. Seems like a sucker to me, but okay, have at it, Hoss. And then he said, oh, it's okay, we're just a frugal family. And okay, that was kind of insulting, but not that big a deal. But now that you see Tiffany's might have actually wanted something from both Gingriches, and you see the connections between the Gingrich and the Tiffany lobbyists, well, now that's a serious story. And we'll see how that plays out. All right, we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to come right back. All right, back on the Young Turks. First time to thank some members. I'm actually going to go with a number of lieutenants here at Rebel Headquarters. Lieutenant Jeremy Dunn, Lieutenant William Curtis, Lieutenant Reginald Doucette, and Lieutenant Rohan Visuvasan. You guys all rock, and we can't do the show without you guys. Of course, membership makes the show go around, and you all, of course, get the podcast of the show. Listen to it at any time you like with no ads, okay? Now, on to Facebook. We have a Facebook page, of course, facebook.com/TYT Nation. And so I was looking around there, and Aaron, who is one of the guys who works for us, he's the General of the Augustus Legion, leader of the armies of the East. Everybody knows this.
Of course.
Aaron Wysocki. And he showed me the pictures, and I love the trend that has started, which is how do you watch the Young Turks? Okay. And so people are sending in pictures of how they watch the show. Okay. And I love it because it gives me a sense of like, oh, okay. Like this is somebody watches it on their TV. Somebody's got it in their living room. Somebody's got it, watches it at work, etc. I don't know. For me, I love it. For example, now not only is this gentleman watching there, but he's got a whole TYT thing on his wall.
That's so sweet.
And he's got a Young Turks T-shirt. How much do I love this guy? All right.
Aww.
Okay. And then I want to move here to watch the Young Turks here. How lovely does this house look? The outside looks great. The inside looks great. It's a fun little yellow/aqua chair. Not aqua, but something. Green line.
Kind of looks like something out of a home magazine.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
Better Homes and Gardens, right?
Yeah.
The dog has 3 legs. Yeah.
Dog has 3 legs?
Yeah, the one on the left.
God bless. Those are lib listeners who are kind and open-hearted. You see that? And you got one more? And I like this because, look, it appears to be at work, and the guy's working on stuff that appears to be incredibly smart. And meanwhile, he's got me and Anna in the background talking about jelly. Okay. And then I like this because the guy's got to set it up on his TV.
Oh, that's awesome too.
Right. So what we want you to do is we want you to actually tag us in these pictures so we can put it up, so that everybody can see it. And so what you do is you click on the picture, click tag picture, and then you type in @the Young Turks. Type in @the Young Turks. Yes, Jesus.
And this guy has 2 computers, a Nintendo Wii, and 2 PS3. That son of a bitch.
No, this guy's tricked out his apartment. Actually, there's nothing else in the
Someone's
apartment.
jealous.
Like the walls are totally bare,
Yeah.
but he's got like this massive equipment, which is awesome, right? So you see part of the reason that I'm having fun here. One last thing. I've decided that we're also going to do Facebook Fan of the Week. Sometimes we'll do it on air. Sometimes Aaron will just do it on our Facebook page, which we're all following. And this week's winner is Aslı Zarakol. Okay?
Wow.
And
Congrats.
she's awesome. I've actually seen her tweets a million times because I actually run our Twitter account.
Right.
And I do the tweets and I read the tweets. And so, Aslı, you rock, and we really appreciate it. Oh, and that's her picture of me on TV at Harvard Yard. That's Harvard Yard.
Oh, wow.
Hey, they parked the Cenk on Harvard Yard.
Hey, these TYT, how you watch TYT pictures are going to be bigger than planking. Watch.
It's a new trend, yes. Planking's got nothing on us. Cenk in different places. Uh-oh. All right. So check that out, of course, facebook.com/TYTNation. All right. What else do we have, Jackie?
Okay, well, I'm not trying to mess with Texas. I'm smarter than that. But there is a big wave of students that are hot for teacher. Now, there have been 4 arrests made recently for teachers that have been having sex with their students. There have been 3 females and 1 male. And now, what?
Wait. Let me get this right.
Okay.
3 female teachers and 1 male teacher.
Right.
For a second there, I thought it was the female teacher sleeping with the female students, but that's not happening.
No, but there is one of the teachers who was having sex with 5 students at one time.
No!
Yes.
Please tell me we have pictures.
They are up there. If Jesus did his job. No.
Is that the one?
No, this is April St. John Alexander. She is a 26-year-old biology teacher from Irving, and she was having sex with a 16-year-old boy, which is
She's
gross.
a bad, bad girl.
Interesting.
And they were having sex.
Ooh,
Yikes.
Okay, this one should be in jail.
Now this is the one who was having sex with 5 students at the same time.
Oh, this is a 5-student one.
Her.
This is the 5-student
She is
one.
an English teacher and basketball coach. And now the real
How
kicker.
did she find the 5 students?
I don't know. But the part that really makes me sad is her husband is in the army.
Oh,
and she did this when he was away.
Disaster.
He was serving our country, and he's sticking by her side.
Oh,
We have a quote from him, and he's saying, "I hope you will not pass judgment on her because you don't have all the facts or details according to the situation." Now,
Chris, I love you, but come on, dog. She was with 5 guys,
And-
they're underage.
well, they were all 18, but she let them videotape it on their cell phones.
Oh, no, for the love of Christ.
cell
Oh, come on. Come on. That's...
It's a triple whammy.
Oh, give me a break.
No, but the thing is, look, I love guys who stick with their wives. I don't want to judge and stuff like that. At least they were 18, you said.
Yeah,
that's
they were
good.
they were
Okay.
18.
That's good. That makes it legal much better, right? But putting the kidding aside, of course, that's the thing that's the most important. But like, if you're the husband, man, I mean, it's one thing if your wife cheats on you and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But of 5 guys at once, how are you going to get that out of your head?
And they're her students, and they taped it. There's
Well, if
evidence
you wanted
of
to get it out of your head, you couldn't because it's probably online.
Oh, God.
You know, and probably your friends have seen it. Oh, disaster.
That's just disgusting.
Disaster. Although in that case, I'm not sure they did watch. But am
Well,
I being too harsh? Yeah. Anyway, I probably.
No, she deserves it.
Yeah, she's a bad girl. So it's
Yeah.
okay. Yes.
And and they had 3 kids together, of course.
Oh, the husband and her.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm starting to feel sick to my stomach.
Yep.
Ay.
Well, then there's the one male the male teacher that has been arrested. Now, he was having sex with a student that was under 17. They're not even saying how old she is, just that she was under the age of 17.
Guilty. Let me see the first teacher again. Not guilty.
She gets away with it?
All right, now.
She was the one having sex with a student at school.
At school.
At
Oh,
school.
jeez, Lord mercy.
She's a bad, bad girl.
Okay. I'm kidding. Mostly. Okay? Like we do these stories and then people jump down and I thought, your double standard is grotesque. Right? Okay, all right. Look, I'm sure if I was on the jury, I would judge it based on the law.
Right,
Calm down.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, now the weird thing is that the 3 that we were just talking about are all 27 or 26.
Uh-huh.
And so I mean, none of it's okay, but there's only like a 10-year age difference. But the last woman was 38 and was having an inappropriate sexual relationship with an 18-year-old, and that's her, and police are describing it as a mothering relationship.
Hey, you.
Now that's just ew on so many different levels.
Nonetheless.
She's a bad, bad girl.
Okay. So 18, again, not guilty.
Yeah.
Not guilty. That's okay. I mean, look, hey, everybody's got their own thing. You want to do the mothering thing? You want to do the son thing?
Ugh.
It's not my thing, okay? But as long as it's legal, okay. And as long as
Yeah.
your husband's not fighting in a war while you're taking 5 guys at once, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. But this one is just, well, but she was a teacher, right? And it was a student.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing.
So she should be fired, obviously, based on
Right.
that alone, but not go to jail.
But
Are
if
we
they're-
not merciful?
But if they're 18 and they're still students, are they still a pedophile? Do you still count that?
No.
No? Are you sure?
No, I'm definitely
It
sure.
feels very disgusting to me.
Am I not merciful? Am I not merciful?
Even like the 5, the
The 5 guys?
the 5 guys, they were all 18, which is a minor miracle. But okay, she did that
Right.
right. Even though they were with her.
Again. And again. And again.
But it's still against the law in Texas, so.
Oh, it is against the law.
It's still
Oh, my
against the law in
bad. I didn't know that. Why is that? Oh, because of this.
I think it's because,
parent-student thing.
I think that's a total.
teacher-student thing.
Right.
Sorry.
I think it's a total like abuse of authority here. What if these students weren't really all that interested, but the teachers were, and they were like, "Hey, want to get an A?" You know?
Yeah. No, I hear you. You get fired over that. I wouldn't put him in jail. But that's an interesting thing. I mean, like.
I don't know. I'm
but
wondering.
that's yeah. I mean.
Because
but
most of these students were the ones that called out their sexual partners, I guess, the teachers.
Oh, and then they turn them in.
Yeah,
That's not
a
cool.
couple of them did. Yeah.
Uh-huh. No, it's okay. No, look, I got to stop kidding around about this stuff. Anyway, no, I'm glad they turned him in. And
Yeah.
what was I going to say? But I am curious about what you guys think. What do you think? Is 18-year-old, but is that illegal? Do you see what I'm saying? Obviously, the teacher should get fired.
Well, no. I mean, the same thing. I mean, the teachers are probably, 30 or something? What can you do? What if there wasn't a teacher? Then I understand the firing part. But what if she met the kid randomly? That still sucks. If I was the kid's parent, I'd be all against it. But how's the law have anything? How can they step in? If they make a legal cutoff age, which is still creepy to me, but it's the legal cutoff age, what can they do?
Yeah, you know what? I got to fess up. I mean, I've fessed up to this double standard a million times,
Oh,
right?
wow. I'm so glad you said double standard.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were going to say.
No, I got to fess up. I'm
Got
serious.
a little nervous.
Like, yeah, when I was a teacher one day. No, no, like if my 18-year-old son had sex with a 30-year-old, forget teacher side of it, like you were saying, met at Food Town and had sex with a 30-year-old woman, I think I'd give him a pat on the back.
Oh.
Okay?
No.
Not I think, I'm almost 128% positive. I would, right? If my 18-year-old daughter met a 30-year-old dude who's a sick
Yeah.
perv at Food Town, okay, I'm assuming he's a perv, okay, then we had a different situation. Now, I'm not going to stop him. She's an adult. She can do whatever she wants. I'm not going to arrest the guy or anything like that.
You might
but,
kick his ass.
But I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
But you don't think that a 30-year-old woman going after an 18-year-old boy she's not a pervert?
I've got 3 letters for you. FTW. For the win.
I think there's got to be something psychologically wrong with you. I mean,
No,
I get it.
no.
They're young and they're probably good looking and everything. If you're a 30-year-old woman, what the hell do you want with an 18-year-old boy? They're not a man, they are a boy.
Well, but what age does it become okay? How about 19-year-old?
I don't think any type of teenager is okay, in my opinion.
So you draw the line at 20.
I think so, just because it's not gross.
Okay, no, that's fair.
I just think
that's
if you're
fair.
a teenager, I still think. I mean, me at 19, I was still a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So none of these kids can come up to me at 18 and be like, "I'm an adult." No, you can't. You're still a kid.
Yeah, at 19. Oh, if a 30-year-old woman came up to me, I would have been like, I would have been like, yes. Okay. Anyways, but no, I bet the majority of people are on your side. So. I just want to, the rest of us pervs here are not a representative sample. I just want to Be clear on
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure these 5 guys were getting high fives all day long at school for banging the teacher, but I still think that woman needs a psych evaluation immediately.
All right. One last thing. It's never going to get better than those 2 lesbian teachers who were making love in the classroom. Like when you get to wrong school sex stories, and they were both cute.
Oh, they were?
What were the chances?
Wow.
It's amazing. All right, anyway. Sorry. What's next?
Okay, well, in southern England, cops were frantically trying to find this tiger that was on the loose. They were getting all these calls that people were seeing a white tiger. So, they get their tranquilizers, they get everything ready. They go out to where it was reportedly seen, and they find it, and it's a toy. It was a life-size stuffed animal tiger.
It's incredible how stupid people are.
I mean...
But the thing that drives me crazy about that is that they panicked.
Right.
Like they saw, somebody must have been holding it. He couldn't, obviously it wasn't running.
Right.
Okay, right? They see it and they're like, what, sick there. And they call the police and they're like, what about sheriff?
Yeah.
Come get the white tiger.
Well, wouldn't your first call be to the zoo? Hey, are your tigers still there? What should we do if we encounter this tiger? Is there any precautions we should take? You sure they're all there? Because we're going to go look for one.
That's interesting. I wouldn't go that way. No.
Really?
If I thought it was an actual white tiger, my first call would definitely be to the cops. I'd be like, I'll deal with the zoo later, but I'm going to take care of the situation here.
I meant if you're the cops.
Oh, if you're the cops.
Instead of immediately just going out there and, guns a-blazing, wouldn't, as a police officer, be like, hey,
oh, no, again,
what do I got to do to get this tiger?
No. Again, I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
Okay, you know why? Because if you're a cop, when's the last time you got to chase a white tiger? They were probably so excited. They're like, oh, this is awesome. Let's go find the tiger, right?
Yeah, pretty sure their native habitat isn't England.
Yeah.
You don't find too many tigers there. A lot of cougars, maybe.
We were just talking about the cougars. Get it? All right, nicely done. All right, give me one last story here as we run out of time.
Okay, well, there are some things that the Guinness Book of World Records won't recognize, and one of them is a mass circumcision party.
All right, well, God bless them for not recognizing that.
Yeah, there were 1,500 boys that took part of a mass circumcision in the Philippines. And I think they've reached out to Guinness Book of World Records, said, hey, come on, this is a world record, put it in the book. And they said, no, we do not recognize the number of medical procedures within a set period of time or a mass group due to hygiene considerations.
All right, now let's pause and think about this for a second. How in the world did they find 15,000 boys to do it at the same time?
1,500.
Oh, 1,500.
Right.
It couldn't have been 1,500 people born on the same day.
No.
So they must be doing the circumcisions at a later time in life.
Right.
Now, and as a man who has suffered that fate, I can tell you, the Philippines should be arrested. The entire country, okay? And why? Why are you doing this? Oh, we were going to break a record. Oh, shit, it turns out there is no such record. Oh, sorry, we're going to circumcise you at the age of 5 when you can, tell the difference. We were trying to break a record, you understand, but our bad, dog. My mistake and my bad. Turns out there is no Guinness record like that.
Well, what guys are like, oh, I want to be in that. I want to be one of the guys in the record for being part of that mass circumcision party.
No, the thing is, I don't think that there are any such guys, but what are the parents who are like, oh, we got to get involved in that record? Because here's the number of guys who volunteer for circumcision. 0, okay? Because...
Really?
Because when you're a kid, you're not conscious when you're a baby, so you don't volunteer. Later, when you're conscious enough, and they say, oh, we would like to snip a part of your penis, the usual answer is not, yes! The usual answer is, I can't find that, but hell no. Okay. So, but that happened to me. I was 6.
Really?
Yeah.
Did it traumatize you?
Nothing really traumatizes me.
Oh, okay.
But
duly noted.
Okay, I'm not one of these soft Americans that goes to therapy and stuff.
Oh, okay. Do you also not have very many feelings?
Feelings.
Those are for sissies, right?
Of course. Yeah. By the way, my wife's a therapist. Just calm down. I'm kidding. All you therapists in the audience, please bring it down for me. 10-2.
Yeah, my sister's pissed.
Okay. All right. No, I was not scarred emotionally. Okay. I was scarred physically for a while.
Okay. As to be expected.
I think we did it in a post game, the removing the bandages story.
Oh.
You don't want to hear that story.
I don't.
Okay. All right. Speaking of which, no post game today because I got to run. I got to call. That's our code in the studio for there's something else after the show. I got to call. Ben Mankiewicz, I believe, is doing the show tomorrow. It's going to rock. Check
It'll be me and Misty.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great show. And check out Jackie, of course, on Reality Bites Back on TYT shows. And check me out tomorrow at 6 o'clock on MSNBC with George Takei. Sulu. Did he tell the other Star Trek characters that he was gay? You will find out tomorrow on MSNBC of all places. All right? Young Turks.